Merry Christmas. It is December the 6th and we are going to open door number 6. 6 already. That's crazy how quickly this month is going. I wanted to talk to you about self-sufficiency. A lot of people along the way start gardening because they want to grow their own vegetables, feed their family healthier food without paying all of the expensive prices of organic food in the supermarket. Makes sense, right? But it's very easy then to get caught up in growing things that you can't be self-sufficient, that when you pick you have to eat straight away. So self-sufficiency is making sure that you are growing things that you can use all year round. So things that you can store, things that you can things that you can freeze, things that you can dehydrate and freeze dry. Now some of those things do cost money to start up. So for example, if you are going to start canning, then you would need a really big deep pot, you would need something for the bottom, either a tea towel or a rack, and some kind of tools for lifting in and out. And then on top of that you need the jars themselves. Even if you collect jars from home, it takes a long while to get enough jars to fill up your pantry, fill up your cupboard. So there is always a startup cost. Something that is free is if you have a dry space, a cold space, if you have a freezer. Your outlay will be for freezer bags, your outlay will be for maybe a couple of cloths or tea towels to put food on. So then what goes alongside that is making sure you're growing food that you can store and that you can be self-sufficient in. So I always say list 5 things, 3 for new beginners, that you think that you use the most in your house as a staple crop. So for me, potatoes definitely is a staple crop. There's so many uses for potatoes, is unbelievable, and most dinners there is some kind of potato item on those dinners, so potatoes is a must. Also corn on the cob, because it freezes fantastically. It can be used on barbecues, it can be used in air fryers, you can boil it, you can take the corn off it and add it into soups and stews. So corn on the cob for me is definitely a staple crop. Garlic and onions, I'm going to put those 2 together because it's something you can use all year round and is very easy to store. And number 4 for me is a pumpkin, which is unusual for a lot of people, but it's very underused in this country. And you can cook so much with it, and you can store it. If you cure it properly, then you can store it for months on end, you know, up to a year until you're picking your next pumpkins at least. So I would say staple crop number 5 for me is definitely strawberries. So it's a fruit, so you can make jams, cakes, you can have it on toast, you can freeze them whole and have them in smoothies, you can puree them down and then use them in cakes throughout the whole year. You can add them to so many different types of food, sweet and savoury. You can add them, you can can them, you can freeze dry them, you can dehydrate them. They are a great staple crop for something sweet to eat. I make jam from mine and then I dehydrate it, a nice thin layer, dehydrate it, put it on baking sheets, then cut those baking sheets once it's cold, roll them up like fruit winders, and I pop them in the jar with a little sachet to keep them fresh, and the kids help themselves to fruit winders. So there are lots and lots of things you can do with strawberry. So that's my 5 staple crops. So think about your 5 staple crops. What would you use the most of? When you go to a supermarket, what do you find you're buying all the time? It could be mushrooms, it could be green beans, it could be cabbages, it could be apples. So always grow your 5 staple crops first before you think about doing anything else. That is my biggest top tip. And if one of those staple crops is something that grows on a tree, that is your number 1 priority. Get your tree in the ground. So that is what I would say is my top tip in self-sufficiency for door number 6, is to become self-sufficient in your top 5 crops to save you money. And as time goes on, you'll find you're buying it less and less at the supermarket, and you can find more and more things you can do with those crops, and they grow in abundance. You know, you don't have to buy seed potatoes. You can save your potatoes and regrow them. The same as corn. If you are only growing one type of corn and no one else around you is growing any other corn around you, then you can keep those corn seeds, and you know, you can use them for popcorn as well. So that is that. And then The same as pumpkins, you can save your seeds and just hope for the best to see what you get if you're only growing one type, if no one else around you again is growing any others, because they cross-pollinate. But some people like beans. I mean, you can can beans, you can freeze beans, you can dehydrate them. I had them recently dehydrated with garlic salt. Oh my gosh, they were absolutely amazing. So it's a different way of eating vegetables and getting vegetables in your diet all year round, and not just picking fresh straight from the crop. So that is door number 6. I hope you enjoyed and learnt something from the self-sufficiency tip that I've just given you. I will see you tomorrow for door number 7. And tomorrow is definitely more festive because the husband at the moment is decorating the front room for Christmas. So it's going to be colourful. A very colourful one tomorrow. Okay, goodbye.